Now, hopefully, you all have come down from that excitement.
Oh, God.
Part 47, just a thrilling part right there.
It's a challenge.
But now, in the part 48, we'll be going through the first part of Ice Ruins, and just a great dungeon in this game. It was Red's favorite, and it's my third favorite.
Which is unusual for like an ice dungeon. I remember thinking back to the Ice Palace in Link to the Past.
It was so bad, yes.
But this, I mean, I think what really stood out for me on this one was how challenging it was.
Oh, it was very challenging. It's by far the most challenging dungeon in the game.
I think so, and we haven't had that throughout this entire game. So to finally get a dungeon that forces us to really explore, do some backtracking.
And this was really the only point in the game, my first time through, that I actually got lost.
Oh, me too. Like, confused.
Yeah, confused, lost. Like, what in the heck am I doing? But, like, one thing I don't like elevator is a really cool idea
right
there.
Too, yeah.
Like, being able to go to all the floors right away, and also the lava. The lava was also
love
cool.
that view.
But I hate getting the big key that early.
It's got to be the earliest in any dungeon.
Well,
in this game,
Thieves Town in Link to the Past was pretty quickly
That's true.
too, if you knew where it was at. But
I did love looking down and seeing that lava, though.
Oh, it is very cool. Like,
you see that throughout the whole dungeon.
Yeah, you do. Like, depending on where you're at,
well, yeah.
what levels are below you. But like, yeah, it's just so cool coming into like an ice dungeon. And then you still, like, it makes you realize that you're in a mountain and, like, still way down there, it's very hot.
It really is. It, like, makes you wonder, like, how did they ever build an ice? Well, I mean, assuming
it's up on Death Mountain, though. I mean, it's pretty high, so...
That's true. We get, thankfully, we never fall all the way down. Well, actually, we might fall down that
We fall a couple times. Hey, it's ice. You know, we're going to slip off a couple times.
I liked how they brought back the
Ping Gators.
Thank you. From Link to the Past. We've seen them in Treacherous Tower, of course. But to see him again in this dungeon, I thought felt appropriate.
And going along with like being the most challenging dungeon, like I also thought this dungeon, it wasn't as beautiful as the Swamp Palace, but you see the designs right there in the floor in that last room we were in, and then like these little walkways. I mean, there was just like a lot of detail that made this place just beautiful.
And being able to look down to the levels below.
I don't really know how that goes along with being challenging, but it's, you know what I meant. It's another aspect of it.
And I like being able to, like, going along with that though, I like being able to look down and see the levels below you.
That's the detail. That's the detail.
They are like the exact shape that they are once you go down there. And we've been a big fan of that throughout the whole game.
Yeah, it's just a really cool dungeon. And, you know, the first time I played this, like, I think Ice Palace had a lot to do with this.
Oh, yeah.
But the first time I played this, like, you know, I just came in with a bad attitude.
Yeah.
And I ended up hating it because it was challenging. But every time I play through it, I just end up liking it more and more.
And I think, like, I remember talking to you when we first put together our very initial Link Between Worlds dungeon ranking. I had this like #1, and you were like, "How did you like this?"
So I think I still had it. Like, I didn't have it last, but I had it,
was
like
down
near
there.
the bottom. And so I was like, well, you know what? That's the cool thing about Zelda is sometimes when you get other people's opinions, it makes you rethink yours. And so I went to the second time. I was like, well, let me give it another shot.
Yeah.
And I just loved it.
Healthy debate is good for Zelda. That's for sure. And that was me with City in the Sky.
Definitely. And also, how about this theme right here? Like, it's so good. It goes along with the dungeon so well. It just sounds like it has a winter sound to it.
It does. And between that and I feel like some of the
I need a winter lager. I need a winter lager. We're commentating.
It's like 90 degrees outside.
So we're commentating this during the summer, but I want a winter lager now.
This theme, though, you're right. It does fit the dungeon perfectly. And I feel like even like water dungeons and ice dungeons we've hated have had themes that match so well, though. You know, we've been fans of those themes.
Well, it's really been like 2D versus 3D. There's been a lot of 2D, like ice and water dungeons that we've loved, and there's like in 3D, those are the ones we usually don't like.
By the way, that was a great Fire Rod Big Bomb combo. I thought you were going to miss that platform.
Every once in a while, I have a good play there.
Now, one thing that does help to make this dungeon so confusing, you've seen us hit some switches and start like these platforms moving around everywhere. There are so many moving parts.
There really are
to this dungeon,
and there's so many like tiny walkways that just like kind of cut off.
Yeah,
and like you can't go anywhere and stuff. So I mean, once you have it down, it's pretty easy. But like you're right, all the floors moving, like the platforms going up and down.
It can get very disorienting.
Yeah, I hate this platform right here though, and you'll see why here in a second.
Oh, I know what you're talking about,
dude. I hate my hatred for Keith grows right here.
They are, well, you know my opinion on
this
Keith.
one right here on the side. He's just licking his lips, just kind of chilling. He's like, I'm gonna get this guy.
I'm trying to figure out how you missed him with all those.
Dude, Keith, man, Keith, they fly in all kinds of weird directions. Oh, I was mad when he did that because I mean. Like, when Keys hit you, they really don't knock you back that far. But the fact that I was on ice, and I just slipped all the way across.
And you were kind of close to the edge. You weren't right in the middle like you are now.
Well, yeah, probably smart. Well, while I was on the edge for it because I had to go over that
That's right.
way.
You want to jump onto that platform.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, at least he's not there that time.
Oh, I was mad.
But all these like tiny platforms and the icy platforms, with having nothing but that open volcano below you, really adds like that sense of danger. And I know falling only takes away one heart. Yeah, we've always been a fan.
Yeah, but if you're recording, like when I'm recording this though, like that does add to the excitement because
like backtrack.
What I did right there. Yeah. Well, see, the good thing in A Link Between Worlds is it like actually puts you right where you fell, thankfully, which is nice. But I mean, it's still nerve wracking, and I don't know if you fell. Actually, I just saw it. Like I wish like they would have did like Roscoe's Mine. Remember when you fell, you go almost all the way down?
Oh my gosh.
It would show you going all the way down to the lava. Yeah. I wish in here, if you would have fell, it would have showed you going all the way down to the bottom.
That might have taken 10 minutes.
Well, so it'd been cool though. It'd been cool.
You know not to screw up again.
Yeah, exactly. 3 minutes later, I'm going to start this dungeon again.
But we've always been fans of any kind of level that that looks so open underneath you, like City in the Sky, Palace of Winds from Minish Cap, things like that where you're exposed to just being able to fall off. Even though, again, we go back, it doesn't really hurt you. It costs you a heart, whatever. But that sense of danger is good, is there.
We know the thing is, it's an inside dungeon, but it kind of has a feeling of being outside.
It does.
Because we got these little platforms and stuff that we're going across. Like, it kind of gives it... It's not outside, but in a way, I think it kind of feels like it's outside.
It does. It seems like it until you like kind of look around the walls and you're like, okay, I'm inside a volcano still. Even though you feel like you're a little bit outside, it's like I'm still contained.
Yeah.
Now we kind of haven't hit on this, but we hit on this a little actually with Turtle Rock. The contrast of using the fire rod in an ice dungeon looks so good.
Now it's a cool idea we talked about in Turtle Rock actually, where we used the ice rod for a fire dungeon, and I can't remember I don't remember what item we used. We used the fire rod a little bit in Link to the Past. Ice Palace, but we didn't use it a lot, if I remember correctly.
No,
we probably used it a ton.
Well, the only item we got, if I remember correctly, in Link to the Past was the tunic.
The blue mail. We got the blue mail.
The mail, yeah. So
and I love this area right here because we get a little bit of snow, and
we do.
We actually, I think we were somewhere earlier where we had snow, but just. Most of it's been ice, but then there's
then you're ice.
Yeah, you punk. But it was just kind of cool seeing that snow contrast right there.
It was, and that little platform you're on is a bit of a challenge though, because you have the eye creatures, the red ones coming after you, and then at the same time you've got the Medusas shooting their ice shots at you.
We knew what I was doing. I was sitting there trying to get my jump right, and I was standing right beside him. I thought it was a pipe in Mario. When you're leaning against the pipe, the piranha plants, they don't come up.
Oh my god, that's the best.
So I'm like, if I'm standing beside Medusa, it's not going to shoot me. So
it had different ideas on that.
Yeah, and I also you saw the design on the wall right there. There's a lot of that wouldn't allow you to merge and go to other places.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of times you thought you could get somewhere that you actually couldn't.
Which is it's kind of annoying sometimes. But man, it does add a different level of challenge to it when you're like, oh, I can easily get over there. But anytime it's not a straight line.
Yeah,
I think is when you can't go through. So that becomes a big pain in the neck sometimes.
It's kind of weird. I can't remember if I actually mentioned this in this part, but there's a lot of backtracking and kind of circling around, which strangely is very similar to the Link to the Past Ice Palace. So I wasn't sure if I mentioned that close to the beginning or not.
Well, they've got some nice correlation between this. It's the statues that we've seen that you have to pull the tongue out of, the guys that come flying out of the wall. We talk about enemy names, not forget them 2 minutes later.
Yeah, well, it happens.
But they're all nice throwbacks to the Ice Palace from Link Between Worlds.
That stamina scroll was huge right here, actually going across this whole wall. You actually need it, but anyways, this will go ahead and wrap up part 48 of A Link Between Worlds.